So, what are your thoughts on Moody's downgraded the U.S. Credit rating? So, what are your thoughts on the downgrade, and does this make this environment more pessimistic when it comes to investing?
It's concerning a little bit. It's not a huge red flag. It's a small red flag. We've been talking about this for the last 2 years. Like the volatility of the market is going up, interest rates is going up. No one wants to buy our debt. I think I saw a report where China hasn't bought a new Boeing airplane since 2017. So we have a bunch of geopolitical issues that have been happening. You never want your credit rating to get downgraded by Moody's. Moody's is also a good stock to invest in like if you were looking for like a B tier company, ticker MCO is one that I like a lot. It's not favorable. No one wants majority of our equities. I know the Magnificent Seven thing has been talked about a lot. I think some of that has been exaggerated. There may be like 13 companies that are really good right now, but it's not a good sign. And a sign of, well, in the middle of a storm, we are not having much positive news besides NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been up forever. The new chip is going to do well, revenue as well. But if we are looking politically, things are not great in the United States. And we're looking for signs of hope and signs that things are going to get better. And we haven't seen them yet. So this is like, if you were already getting C's in class and you got a C minus, it's like, it's not the end of the world, but we're not seeing an uptick in positive news and positive outcomes in our environment. So I will argue this is a better time to invest. I think too many people want to invest when everything is at a hype cycle. But now when it's at the down cycle, no one wants to buy in. This is why I love like the enthusiasm in the crypto space. When we were hovering in the 20s and 30s, low 30s in Bitcoin, no one wanted to buy. But when it was at 55, everyone was going crazy saying it was going to go to the moon and go to 120. We have to buy at the right time. And now is the time for great investors and those who really want to get rich or wealthy buy in.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought up Boeing when we talk about this. Because yeah, the outlook, I mean, it went to negative from stable.
Yeah,
I mean, Boeing, that's an interesting case, right? Like China is now considering having the freeze lifted from the Boeing jets, but you know who came in and bought a bunch of Boeing jets?
who was that?
United Emirates. They just bought 90.
Well
90,
played.
yeah, 97. I don't want to say they're not 737s, they're the 777s. So 90, this is like a I think almost $52 billion deal. So that's encouraging, right? And again, when we talked about politics and business, we spoke about China. Yes, NVIDIA has their new chip, and it's the price point is between 25 to 40,000. Right?
Yeah.
25 to 40,000, and it's more catered toward AI generating products, right? So when we're talking about graphics, when we're talking about text, this is where it's more catered to. This is big business. Most importantly is how that relates to China, because again, every time, well, the past two chips that NVIDIA has put out, there's been a ban where China could not order them, and then there's been bans going back and forth between the two. But these are American companies that have products that the world are using. So how will it affect? I mean, short term, I don't know how much it affects it, but what will be interesting, and I wrote this in my notes, is that what will be more important is what happens this week with the data that's coming out about inflation and the consumer price index, because that will tell us again, short term, will rates be raised, and how long will it be raised, and will it be raised for November or December, and what does it look like for the outlook for January and February? So I think those things are more immediate to affecting our market.
I agree, and it's different because in 2008, 2009, some of the things were come off as a shock. I think we have a much more seasoned and smart investor class now who understands this already. So it's not as big of a shock. But like you said, CPI key, inflation key. If Biden and Xi Jinping have issues in their meetings, that can send the market into a tailspin. But this isn't a linchpin event for sure.